In a world filled with noise, expectations, and constant comparison, the words of Steve Jobs cut through like a laser. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. This quote wasn't just a line from his famous Stanford commencement speech. It was a reflection of how he lived, led, and ultimately changed the world. Jobs understood something deeply profound. We all have a finite number of days. The tragedy isn't death. It's spending your life chasing someone else's dream, seeking validation from others, or following paths that don't ignite your soul. This video dives deep into the essence of Jobs' philosophy and how it can serve as a compass for your personal and professional journey. Through this lens, we explore lessons about time, authenticity, innovation, boldness, and how to create a life that is entirely your own. Whether you're a student, entrepreneur, creator, or anyone in between, this message is your reminder. Stop seeking permission and start living with intention. Let's walk the path Jobs paved, not by mimicking his steps, but by embracing the courage to carve our own. Number 1. The man who dared to be different. Steve Jobs was never content with blending in. From co-founding Apple in his garage to revolutionizing technology with the iPhone, Jobs consistently challenged the status quo. He was a college dropout, a spiritual seeker, and a visionary who often zigged when the world zagged. His willingness to be different wasn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. It was purpose-driven authenticity. Jobs believed that success doesn't come from following the crowd, but from trusting your instincts, even when they go against the grain. The most powerful thing he did was believe in his vision before anyone else did. We often fear being different. We conform because we want to be accepted. But Jobs showed us that only those who dare to be different can truly make a difference. He didn't try to be the next someone. He focused on becoming the first Steve Jobs. So the question for all of us is this: are we trying to fit in, or are we bold enough to stand out? Number 2. Time is life's most precious currency. Time is the one resource you can never earn back. Steve Jobs understood this better than most, especially after facing his cancer diagnosis. It made him reflect deeply on how he was spending his days and who he was spending them for. He famously said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." This mindset fueled his urgency. He lived every day knowing that time is limited and that every second counts. Instead of wasting time doubting yourself, living up to others' expectations, or putting your dreams on hold, Jobs urges us to act now. Don't let someday become never. Whether you're 18 or 80, the truth is the same: your time is finite. Use it building something that excites you, challenges you, and fulfills you. Don't live life on autopilot. Take control of your clock. Number 3. The trap of comparison and conformity. One of the biggest killers of potential is comparison. Social media, peer pressure, and cultural norms can easily lead us to measure our lives against others. But Jobs warned against this. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Too many of us chase goals not because we love them, but because they're popular. We follow career paths we don't enjoy, build lifestyles to impress others, and suppress our true selves in fear of rejection. This is the prison of conformity. Steve Jobs broke this pattern. He created products people didn't even know they needed. He trusted his unique ideas even when others laughed. Living someone else's life might feel safer, but it's also emptier. Real success comes from tuning out the noise and tuning in to your soul. So stop comparing, start creating. And remember, the only person you should aim to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Number 4. The inner voice. Trusting your intuition. Steve Jobs was a master of intuition. He believed in following your heart, even when the path ahead made no logical sense. In his speech, he said, "Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become." This belief guided many of his boldest moves, from dropping out of college to starting next to buying Pixar. These weren't decisions based on strategy alone. They came from deep inner clarity. Too often, we silence our inner voice because we're scared of failure or judgment. But intuition is like a compass. It points us toward meaning. If you're stuck, confused, or lost, go inward. What excites you? What keeps you awake at night? What makes you feel alive? That's your inner voice whispering. Jobs followed his and built empires. You can too. But first, you have to trust yourself more than you trust the world's opinions. Number 5. Innovation requires authenticity. The iPod, the iPhone, the Mac. Each of these iconic products came from a place of radical creativity. Something only possible when you're living authentically. Steve Jobs didn't copy trends. He created them. He understood that real innovation is birthed not from imitation, but from originality. He merged technology with artistry, science with emotion. And the result? Products that didn't just function, they connected. This level of innovation is only possible when you stop trying to be someone else. Jobs didn't worry about what competitors were doing. He focused on what he believed in. If you want to build, lead, or create something extraordinary, authenticity is your foundation. You can't inspire the world while pretending to be someone you're not. Jobs showed us that the most powerful ideas come from inside, not from external validation. Be bold. Be original. That's where greatness is born. Number 6. The power of saying no. Steve Jobs once said, "Focusing is about saying no." In a world full of opportunities, distractions, and shiny objects, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to pursue. Jobs was ruthless about simplicity. He cut out unnecessary products, minimized complexity, and channeled Apple's energy into doing fewer things, but doing them brilliantly. This applies to life as well. When you say no to things that drain your time, distract your purpose, or dilute your focus, you create space for what truly matters. Stop saying yes to please others. Start saying yes to yourself. No to toxic relationships. No to self-doubt. No to paths that don't align with your values. Jobs built excellence by narrowing in. You can build your dream life the same way, by pruning distractions and focusing on your mission. Remember, your time is limited. Guard it fiercely. Number 7. Legacy over approval. Steve Jobs wasn't concerned with being liked. He was driven to leave a legacy. Approval fades. Trends change. But impact, that's eternal. Jobs was often called difficult, intense, or obsessive, but those same traits helped him craft a legacy that outlived him. He didn't settle for good enough. He aimed for insanely great. We often trade legacy for likes. We adjust our dreams to fit others' expectations. But Jobs teaches us that the real measure of success is the imprint you leave on the world. What will people remember you for? Did you live authentically? Did you use your gifts? Did you create something that mattered? You don't need the world's approval. You need the courage to build something bigger than yourself. Follow Jobs' lead. Stop chasing applause. Start building a legacy. In conclusion, be bold, be you, be legendary. Steve Jobs didn't just build products, he built a movement, a mindset, a manifesto for modern creators, thinkers, and dreamers. His quote, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life," is a call to step into your power, to live with intention, and to stop waiting. No one will live your life for you. No one can chase your dreams but you. Stop hesitating. Stop pretending. The clock is ticking, and every second you spend living for others is a second stolen from your purpose. Be bold. Say yes to your passion. Say no to conformity. Create, serve, build, and lead in a way only you can. Because in the end, it's not about living long, it's about living true. And when your time runs out, make sure your story was worth telling. Live like Steve Jobs. Not by copying his life, but by finally claiming your own. If this video inspired you, please like, comment, and subscribe to Motivational Hub. Thank you.